Hey YouTube, this is NeoNexudus here, back with a new deck update. Now this is my dark deck and I'll turn it into a dark synchro deck. It's been working pretty okay so far, although it needs some minor adjustments, like different tuners chucked in, obviously different kinds of synchros, but it's working pretty well. Okay, let's start with the synchro material monsters. We have 1, 2, 3 junk warriors. I chucked them in there because you could. They're quite hard for me currently to sink into, but that's all going to change. Its effect is basically to gain the total attack of all level 2 and lower monsters on the field. And then we have 1, 2 Gaia, the Force of the Earth. Fairly easy to sink into, about average. Strong 2600 beat stick, no effect. Then we have one of my favourite synchro monsters, the Iron Chain Dragon. Now a lot of people don't bother using Iron Chain decks, so they use the synchro card for its second effect, which is, when it inflicts battle damage to the opponent, send the top 3 cards on their deck to the graveyard. Now obviously this would help out Light Swarms and some zombie decks, but on average, most decks aren't Light Swarm or Zombie, so, you know, it's a pretty good card. Its first effect is basically it gains the attack of all the Iron Chain monsters in my graveyard. And it goes up by 300 attack for each Iron Chain monster in my graveyard, but I'm not going to use that effect. Next we have BLACKWING Armored Wing. Its effect is to, if this card attacks a defense position, it gains 500 attack during attacking a defense position monster, and it has piercing damage. Now currently I only have 1 BLACKWING tuner. I just chucked this in there because, on the off chance if I could synchro into it, why the hell not? It's a nice piercer, so it'll go up to 2,800 worth of piercing damage, so that's pretty good. Then we got X-Saber Orbellum, and this card inflicts battle damage to the opponent. If my opponent has 4 or more cards in their hand, I can select 1 random card from their hand and send it to the top of their deck. Stores for a bit of time. Otherwise it's a 2200 beat stick, not particularly great, but it ain't bad, I suppose. Then you got the Black Rose Dragon. No one uses its second effect of doing something with plants, but a lot of people use its first effect, and that's why it's become limited in the new September ban. Its first effect is to basically nuke the field. It wipes the field of every single card on there, including itself, and sends it all to the graveyard. So that's good for starting afresh. Then we have Stardust Dragon. Everyone knows what this does. It's pretty much a staple in any synchro deck. Basically, if it's targeted by any sorts of destruction effects from a monster effect or a magic card effect or a trap card effect, it basically tributes itself to negate and destroy that card, and then when the effect is used that way, it special summons itself back from the graveyard during the end phase. And it's got a nice 2500 attack. And finally we have 1, 2 Colossal Fighters. Basically it gains 100 attack for each warrior type in the graveyard, and when it's destroyed it can special summon back 1 warrior type monster including itself. Now I think that's a pretty intriguing effect. I mean, it's got 2800 attack points, 2 warriors in the grave, and you've got 3000 beat stick. But I have a few warriors, so basically if I can knock enough of them into there, pretty effective. Okay, moving on to the monsters now. We obviously have the Masked Beast, the Invader of Darkness, which doesn't allow the opponent to activate any quick play spell cards, no MSTs. We have a Great Mighty Gazette. You basically tribute 1 monster for it, and it doubles the attack and it becomes the great Multi-Guard Zets attack. Here we have the Giant Orc, a very powerful level 4 monster, 2200 attack, but unfortunately once it attacks it turns into defense position, and as you can see it's got 0 defense. Now I'm thinking of switching Giant Orc out with the slightly less powerful Vampire Lord, because Vampire Lord's effect is pretty handy. It's basically like, basically you can choose monster magic or trap cards and do something with that. I can't exactly remember its effect, but it's got 2000 attack, and I've been told it's a pretty sweet card. I went up against the Dawn in it on Thursday and it seemed to be working pretty well. We have the Archfiend Soldier, nice 1900 beat stick. We have the Mad Archfiend, 1800 beat stick, switch to defense mode when it's attacked, and it has piercing damage. Might get some more of those. Dark Blade, a new addition into this. It's a warrior, but it's still a dark type, so it still goes with my deck theme. 1800 beat stick. Two Nidorias, which destroy one monster when it's into the graveyard. And then we have 1, 2, 3 junk Synchrons, because I didn't have anything better to put in. And basically, when it's normal summoned, I can special summon one level 2 or lower monster from my graveyard into face-up defense position, and its effects are negated, so basically it's easy tuning.